Hiya folks, JD here, and this video has been requested by David Romero. So he wants to know, a year or so on from me having the MJX Bug 6, do I still use it? Do I still think it's a good copter? Because now it's dropped in price tremendously compared to what it was when I first bought it. So I first bought this in December 2017, and it went live the 6th of December 2017 as the unboxing video on the channel. Since then I've made about 5 or 6 videos on this particular copter, and I must have flown it at least a dozen times, if not a bit more than that. The last time I did actually fly it was the third quarter last year, 2018. So I haven't flown it as of yet in 2019, but now that my attention's been turned back onto it, I am going to give it another couple of shots in the next few weeks. So before we look at the flight, the characteristics, and then what I think of it, let's first of all have a look at this battery. So here's the original battery that I had with it. It's inside this nice plastic casing just to keep it nice and safe, because it is a soft case battery otherwise. Now this is the original battery. I haven't charged this since the third quarter last year, and needless to say I haven't discharged it either. So if I plug this in, come on, we've still got power. The battery in itself isn't, come on, there we go, bit of a nightmare to get in and out. The battery is not bubbled in any way. It is nice and still healthy. So what I'm going to do, in fact, is I'm going to plug this. I don't know if we're going to get an adequate reading out of this, but I'm going to plug it into my, there we go, I'm going to plug it into my battery meter. So far this battery is 73% charged. It has an active voltage, so I would still say that battery is good. Once it is fully charged again, we should have good capacity within the cells. This copter took me by surprise when I first bought this. I wasn't prepared for the speed of this. So you have 2 speed modes, you have slow and you have insanely quick. So this is sort of an entry-level, larger racing copter. It has a very nice thin, actually quite thick plastic frame. It does feel thin on the top. The arms are quite thick. All in all, it is a very nice quad. You have 2 LEDs at the front, 2 LEDs at the back, just give you that orientation. The 2 at the back are red, the 2 at the front are white, so you know exactly which way you've got this facing. So let's dive in and have a little look at the flight characteristics of this particular quadcopter. Now, as this quad does not have altitude hold in any way, shape or form, it can be a bit of a nightmare to tie it down and to make sure that it flies properly. But that's all part of the learning curve of this particular quad. In this video, I think this was one of the first videos I did with it, I decided to just take it for a nice gentle sort of flight to get to know the quadcopter first. I was astounded at exactly what it could do, and then towards the end of the video I then gave her full throttle to see exactly how fast she went. Now, as this is a brushless quadcopter, you will find that pickup is quick, she moves quick, and because she hasn't got altitude hold, you have got to keep your thumb and finger on that throttle so that you can actually give her the correct amount of throttle that she needs if she comes too close to the floor. Because if she comes down and if she crashes, you have got these little plastic sprigs here. They are quite thick. I have taken a chunk out of one of them. I think it's the back one here. Oh no, it's just muddy. But they are quite thick. They do put up with quite a lot of punishment, but they are directly attached to the propeller arms, so you don't want to come down too hard and you don't want to shatter the arms. In saying that, I've only flown this on concrete twice. I think the rest has all been on grass. Now, this model didn't come with a camera because I use my run cam for everything, so if I buy a quadcopter without a camera, it's not the end of the world. Plus, at the time, I believe there was something like a £50 or £60 difference in the quadcopter with the camera versus without. So I didn't really see the point of having that camera when I could just attach my run cam in the footage that you see here. Now, when I left this for a couple of months, I decided then to come back onto it and give it another shot and see exactly how it went, and it kicked me in the butt. To be perfectly honest with you, I'd forgotten just how sensitive it is and just how quick it is. When you get into this quad and when you start to learn and when you start to pick up on its little habits and just get to know it a little bit more. Now, in saying that, it's a very tight corner turner. It's a very, very quick copter. It does really pick up fast. So ensure when you are flying her, because she doesn't have return to home, you have got to have that ability in order to bring her back should you get into any difficulty. As for distance, I didn't have any issue with the transmitter at all. I would take her out about 100-150 meters and there's no issue there, or at least I certainly haven't come into any issue in the field that I fly in. Battery lasts for quite a reasonable amount of time. I believe it's about 10 minutes. Don't quote me on that in case I'm wrong, but I believe it's about 10 minutes. And from that you get a good solid flight. As for motor wear, now I have done literally no maintenance to this quad whatsoever. Now this particular motor, the particular brushless motors on here, they don't require a lot of maintenance. Yes, you could use bearing grease just to ensure they do spin quite nicely, but even after all these flights we still have a very nice looking and very nice feeling brushless motor. One thing I would say, just to ensure these caps are on nice and tight, because what I have had in the past is as I spun up the motors when I did unlock the quadcopter, I did have that one of these caps was moving around quite a bit and was causing a little bit of a ticking noise. So I just screwed it on a little bit tighter, and since then it's been fine. Now, do I still think it's worth buying this in 2019? Absolutely I do. My personal preference is, if it's an MJX quadcopter, I think it's around about the £50-60 mark now, I would jump and I would get it. Now this has since been superseded by the MJX Bugs 8E, I think, which is again the very sort of insectoid flat style, but it's red, looks a little bit like Meccano. And that seems to be doing quite well. I haven't tried that myself, but I still think the Bug 6 most certainly has a place in society, in the quadcopter hobby as well. So with this, people can flash the firmware. There's a couple of people on the channel that are probably going to say they've done it. You can have it to perform acro. So there's lots and lots of things you can do with this. Even if you just keep it like myself as a bare basic flyer, it's just tons of fun. It really, really is tons of fun. And because those brushless motors, it can pick up a run cam with relative ease. Now, on the negative side, I would say it's large for myself. As I say, I don't drive, so everything has to go in a bag and I have to, lug it up to wherever I fly. Now, what I normally do is I would take the propellers off before I take her up there, and that just means that when I get there, the propellers aren't going to be snapped off. As for overall thoughts, again, I'm still very happy with this. I haven't flown it this year yet, but I am going to be, and you guys are going to be seeing the video of the 2019 flight of this in the next coming weeks. And if I've got any concerns, then I'll let you know. But if going from the last flight and knowing how it's been stored, which is just on the shelf behind me, I should see absolutely no reason for this not to be working 100% perfectly. The battery, again, looks like it's performing well. All the cells are registering correctly, so I don't think we can have an issue there either. So all in all, I'm very happy. I still think this is a copter to get your hands on if you haven't already. I've got a load of MJX quadcopters, going from the hexacopter that I first flew years and years ago, 2016 I think, going up to this, the Bugs 3, the Bugs 2 SE, and the Bugs 2, which is coming very soon as well. So yeah, all in all, I think it's most certainly worth you getting hold of this. I don't know, what else are your thoughts, folks? I think it's a great quadcopter. You may differ though. So let us know in the comments whatever your thoughts are about this particular quad. Right then, my friends, I'm going to stop yammering and I'm going to let you get on with your day. Thank you ever so much for watching and listening. David, I hope this has answered your questions. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.